Hello and welcome back to Unplayable. Mike here, coming at you with another Market Watch video. So a lot has happened since the first Market Watch video I did a month ago, and things got a little crazy. So products sold out basically everywhere. FFG is having to allocate products over the next few months until theoretical reprint happens alongside set 2 is the rumor. So what we've seen are prices going up, especially on sealed product, and we're going to talk about it today. All right, so the first thing that I'd want to take a look at is I created this Star Wars Unlimited index, and the attempt is to basically create a basket of different Star Wars Unlimited items that are representative of the whole set of Sparkle Rebellion so that we can have something that we can track from month to month and see certain cards or products individual price changes over those months and the total price of all those items over the months basically. So in order to get like as accurate a snapshot as possible into what the market looks like, I wanted to have a wide variety of different products as part of this. So the way that I created this is I took 3 showcases. I took basically the most expensive showcase, the least expensive showcase, and then one in the middle. I took the 3 best-selling legendaries and the 3 least selling legendaries on TCG Player. I took the 3 best-selling and 3 least-selling hyperspaces, hyperspace foils, rares, etc. Hyperspace rares, hyperspace foil rares, and then at the bottom, I have just like a couple hyperspace uncommons to sort of round it out. And then the booster display as well. So we're tracking a little bit of sealed product here with the booster display, but mostly singles prices to try and get a snapshot of what the market looks like. And this is not intended to be like a super accurate, like these are exactly what the prices were. This is what it cost to buy all of this stuff. It's more just to track from month to month what the general trend looks like, and maybe we can come to some interesting conclusions. So from March to April, everything is mostly up. There are some cards that were maybe overbought, like Hyperspace Fet's Fire Spray, that are, like cut in half. But for the most part, everything is up. A lot of it is up quite a bit. And most notably, I think, is that booster displays have doubled in price. When the game first came out, nobody had any trouble getting product, which was amazing. No stores were allocated. Boxes were selling for well under MSRP. And we have quickly seen that shift here in basically 4 weeks. The price has doubled. The price really doubled within the last week or two, I would say, but pretty crazy to see that happen. Obviously, that comes with the news and the sort of realization that stores aren't going to be getting a ton of boxes. The rumor right now is that each store is going to be getting 3 boxes per month, and that is meant to tide them over until set 2 comes out, and then theoretically a reprint of set 1 happens alongside that. That's not been confirmed as far as I know, so we're just going off of those rumors and trying to do our best with the information that we have. So our Star Wars Unlimited index has gone up 52% over the last month. We will continue to track this from month to month, and I am debating on whether or not to try and do this per set. We can track the prices of each set individually over time, or if it's better to just do just a general, replace some of these cards with cards from future sets as they come out and keep like a just general Star Wars Unlimited market index thing. But I think I'll probably try and do this for each set individually, because I think that we could learn something different depending on, where a set is in its life cycle. I think is an interesting part of this equation. So let's move on to talk about some specific cards that I think are pretty interesting. All right, so the first one I want to talk about is Hyperspace Foil Vader. So last time I sort of predicted that Darth Vader Hyperspace Foil would become one of the most sought after chase cards in this set, and it looks like that's coming true. It is low of $250. I have seen them sell for that and close to that on even other marketplaces that are not TCG Player, that generally sell cards for a little bit cheaper. Obviously a great card, super iconic. I predicted it last time, so I'm not super surprised about it, but it is interesting to see. And I could see the price of this holding where it is relative to other cards. For example, it's probably in the middle of the pack or close to the middle of the pack when it comes to showcases. So I do expect it to stay above some of the less popular showcases and maybe keep increasing over time as people play the game, as people get into the game. It's such an iconic card, both in the metagame, I think, as well as obviously in the canon of Star Wars. So I really think that this card is like one of the top 3 cards in the set, probably, alongside Boba Fett Showcase and maybe, I don't know, Han or Leia or Palpatine Showcase. I think kind of fight for that 3rd spot. So this will be a really interesting one to track over time and see what happens there. So speaking of showcases, let's talk about showcases more generally. So obviously Boba Fett's at the top, somewhere between $645 and $800. TCG Player makes it kind of impossible to tell what the actual market price is, but we're really just comparing cards to other cards. So I'm not super interested in like the exact value of Boba Fett right now, more just that Boba Fett is what they say is $800 and IG-88 is $185 or whatever. That difference is more important than what the actual prices are for this purpose, in my opinion. So obviously Boba Fett at the top, you've got a pretty wide range of prices. Obviously we just talked about IG-88 down at $185, up $100 from the last time I looked at it. So that's showing the sort of supply squeeze that's going on right now. And it is definitely interesting. I think like if we wanted to look at leaders that I think are probably best served in future sets in terms of being better and more playable and leaders that people are going to be after, I think my number 1 pick is probably Grand Inquisitor. I think he's already pretty good, probably better than a lot of people think that he is. And the more cards that come out that synergize with his ability, the better he's going to get. So I think him being like the 4th cheapest is a little surprising. I would expect him to be up here maybe in this sort of area. And so that might be an interesting one to look at if you're looking to pick up some showcases. Hera, I think, was undervalued, and then I think she must have gotten bought out a little bit because I don't know why this happens, but like the high to low doesn't work. So I guess maybe it's market price high and low, but I don't think you can really trust that. So I'm just going to ignore that and say Hera is probably appropriately priced right now, in my opinion. All right, so moving on to some other cards that I think are potentially good pickups. So we've seen both Cunning and Vigilance become a lot more popular over the last month, and especially, you know, Vigilance more recently than that. But they've basically doubled in price, and their counterparts, Command and Aggression, have stayed pretty much where they're at, you know, $13 and then $10. I think that there is a ton of room for those cards to be very good, and I think they're sort of double aspect staples just in general. I think that's like what they're meant to be. And I think if what the player base is saying is that, you know, the double aspect legendary cards that are played are worth, you know, $20 around, then I think that it's only a matter of time before these become playable, and the logic would follow that they would rise to that price point. So while they may not be as relevant now, I think in the future they definitely could be. So those are a couple that I would keep an eye on. All right, so that's all the individual card talk that I'm going to do this week. But if you out there have any suggestions on how I should talk about those cards, let me know, because I'm not entirely sure what you guys want to hear about, and I would love some feedback from everyone watching. All right, so now I want to do something fun. I want to try and predict how many showcases are going to be left in this wave until July hits. So I used the store locator on Star Wars Unlimited's website to try and guess how many stores are carrying Star Wars Unlimited, and I came up with around 1,000. So we're just going to use 1,000 as the example. So this is number of stores, and then we've got packs, or I guess boxes, and then packs. So there is 3 boxes per store. So we can actually total that up. So we've got a total of 3,000 boxes per month. And then we know that showcases are 1 in every 12 boxes. So we're just going to divide this by 12. So basically 250 showcases hitting the market per month until July. That was what, 4 months? So 1,000 showcases are going to hit the market between now and July. And there are 16 different showcases. So we can go each leader individually. We just take this number divided by 16. Obviously, this is very rough math, but so every month we've got this. And then here, we'll just say until July. Sorry, I know that this is kind of janky, but we're just doing it this way. So roughly 62 showcases of each leader until July, which is not a lot. It's hard to predict, and it's hard to tell how many total showcases are out there and how many people are looking to buy showcases. But just looking at the different groups, Facebook, Discord, eBay, TCG Player, it seems like there's pretty good demand for these showcase cards. And that's not even, you know, at your local game stores where people are buying and selling and trading in person. So this is not a lot of product. And what I think is going to happen, you know, obviously this is speculation. I have no idea what's going to happen. If anybody tells you that they know exactly what's going to happen, just be a little more skeptical. But I think what's going to happen is that prices are basically either going to stay here where they are, or they're going to go up until set 2 comes out. I think the prices for set 2 are going to start a lot higher than the prices for set 1 did. That's just my prediction. But if you're looking for cards and you need them before July for an event or something like that, I don't think there's going to be a lot of opportunities for the prices to dip drastically between then and now. I think maybe you'll see like tiny little dip when new boxes come out, but 3 per store is like barely any. And I think they're supposed to go to draft anyway. So those aren't really going to hit the market in the same way as they normally would. The flip side to all this is that there are also rumors that alongside the 3 boxes per month, there is going to be another wave of boxes that get distributed to retailers before July. And if that happens, then I have no idea what the market's going to look like. Obviously, the demand is really high for this game. And I think that is going to continue given how good the game is, frankly, and how popular it is and how much it sort of exceeded expectations. I think that has created a lot of positive sentiment around the game that is drawing in new people. And I think that once product becomes more available, even more people will come in. And so it may not be enough product to satisfy future demand, even if it is potentially enough product to satisfy current demand. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. That's sort of my prediction. I think prices are going to basically stay the same until either a bunch of new product hits the market, or they just will stay where they are now and will stay here for the foreseeable future. So we're going to keep tracking the prices from month to month on our Star Wars Unlimited Index and see what happens, see if we can catch some patterns. I think, you know, in the short term, this is a little bit less useful and a little bit less interesting to look at. Like, yes, you can see the prices have gone up, but it's like, you know, once you got a few months, like 6 months from now, I think this is going to be really interesting to look back at. So make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss these videos. I think I'm going to do them every month. Once a month seems like the right cadence. If I am not talking about something that you want me to talk about, let me know so that I can make these videos what everybody wants to watch. So hey, so as I was editing this video, I realized there were a couple other things that I wanted to talk about that I forgot to. So I'm going to talk about those right now. The first is maybe more of a PSA, which is that if you aren't aware, people have found out basically the correlation of legendary cards to boxes. They figured out sort of like the cycle of which legendaries appear together and in what order, which is kind of nuts. This is not something that you typically see in TCGs. I don't know how this happened. It seems like it's sort of just bad randomization from the FFG's printing partners, but I don't know. In any case, be very skeptical of buying single packs. If you don't know about that already, or if you want to learn more, I'll leave a link in the description of a video that explains it all. And it is kind of nuts. I really hope that they do solve this for the next printing waves and for all future sets going forward. I would hate for this to be a thing forever with Star Wars Unlimited. And yeah, so hopefully it's a temporary thing. So the other thing is that in a market like this, we should all be a little bit skeptical of short-term price movements. And a good example of this, I think, is the Leia Showcase card. So a month ago, she was around $200. Now, at least according to the TCG Player, it's like above $600, which makes her the second most expensive showcase right behind Boba Fett. And it is weird to me because none of the other showcases follow that trend. It's literally just her, and it makes me think that there's a chance that some people or a group of people are buying them out and trying to artificially inflate the price, which is relatively easy to do in a market like this with not a lot of volume. So there's definitely some like weird things going on where it goes from like $250 to $300 all the way up to $400 and then $500. Like there's not been a ton of sales, and I think that like a month is still very short term. So if Leia's price remains here for 3, 4, 5 more months even, but I don't know. As of right now, it's just looking a little bit suspicious. And maybe that is the right price, but I don't think that we'll actually know for, you know, many, many more months if this price is sustained. So just wanted to hop in with those couple thoughts and I'll get out of here. That's it for now. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Catch you on the next one. Bye.